Hi there. I'd like to give some more information on this fixometer unit that we've developed. Fixometer came about when I was restoring older cars, and you get to the fuel system. You want to use your original working fuel gauge, and you find that the sender units are usually shot in the tank. So you go out to an automotive supply place and you buy an aftermarket sender, and the resistance on the senders are not the same as the factory OEM, and it then doesn't give you a correct representation of your fuel level in your tank to your gauge in your car. So fixometer is an intermediate negotiator between the resistance of your sender and the setup in your gauge to make sure that you have an accurate representation of what's happening in your tank to your gauge. Very important, your sender that you buy must be of a resistive type, a continuous changeable resistive type, meaning that it must have a change in resistance from empty to full, and that resistance must be there all the time. You can buy a nice fancy one like this, but these don't work. The internals working of these units are maybe a resistive type, but not a continuous resistive type. They've got like little micro switches built into the tube here. And when your float moves over one of those micro switches, it connects, makes a connection, and it gives you a resistive output. Then it, only at the next micro switch, which is maybe a quarter, half, 3/4, and full, you have only 4 switches inside there. So when you have a full tank and you use petrol, the gauge stays at full until it gets to the little switch on the 3/4 way. And then your gauge jumps to 3/4. Again, between there and half, there's no change in resistance. But only when it reaches there, it triggers the next set of resistors by that little micro switch, and then you get the reading. So don't go and buy and think that these ones will work properly on your gauge, and fixometer cannot even fix that problem. It must be one of these that move up and down, and you get the one with the long arm and another long arm. Make sure that those calculations are correct for your tank depth, and it's not hanging up and hooking up. So you must have a full free movement of travel from full to empty. So you must have a working sender, a working OEM gauge, fixometer, and you can calibrate any point up to 9 points to make sure that you have a very, very accurate reading between your sender unit and your gauge. Fixometer can also do water temperature. So you just swap out your sender here to a temperature switch, and you calibrate it, and you can accurately get the temperature in your engine to the temperature gauge on your dashboard. Same with oil pressure. You replace this unit here with an oil pressure sender, resistive type, of course, that changes a resistive change, and you match it by calibrating the fixometer inside here, little buttons. I'll show you now the buttons to accurately give you a true representation of what's happening on your engine and on the gauges in your classic car or your restored car. Fixometer is a small little box. inside there's a microcontroller, a couple of buttons, a program button, a up button, a down button, a 7-segment display to give you some indication, 2 power supplies, a variable one. The variable one can give you a 5 volt output or 5.5 volt output to drive your gauges, and it's adjustable with that little pot there up to 10 or 11 volts, because I think the Jaguars, they run a 10 volt on their gauges. This unit can do any 6 volt to 12 volt negative ground car. So you can put on the positive lead, which is the red wire, you can put 12 volts or you can put 6 volts and it will work. No switches changed in the unit, nothing. You put 12 volts or 6 volts on this wire, your black wire is ground and the unit will work correctly. Inside the fixometer is a row of dip switches. Those will go back ones there. To make this thing as accurate as possible, we've set up a table in the unit. And if you have, for instance, a 10 ohm to 100 ohm, this one is 108 to 7 ohm, but roughly in that range, then you look on the table and then your position number 7 switch must be on. If it's like a water temperature, which is 2.2 K, which is a very much higher resistance, to give us an accurate range of calibration points, you select another position. So I think it was number 3, but it's all in the tables. And that can then do the range more accurately by switching the correct dip switch on there. It's all in the manual, a very comprehensive manual to show you exactly how to connect things with IVS or a little voltage regulator or without a voltage regulator. There's the tables for the selecting a resistance range, and then how to calibrate it step by step, and then also how to switch the reserve lamp, or how to program your reserve lamp, which is not just a reserve lamp. For fuel gauge is the reserve lamp. For temperature gauge, it's a fan. You can switch the fan on to cool the car down. And it's all user-friendly and adjustable where, at what temperature you want the fan to go on and where to go off. If there's some problems, there's some troubleshooting ideas. You can't calibrate the thing with a point and a higher point, and then suddenly a very low point, and then a high point and another high point. So it gives you some ideas how to calibrate it to be very, very accurate. Right. Like I said, it can be used for 3 different functions: fuel, water temperature, and oil pressure. You of course need a separate unit for every function. So if you only want fuel, you only buy 1. If you want to do fuel and temperature, you buy 2. And if you want to do oil pressure with it, you need another one. If you look at the fixometer wires, it looks like there's a lot of wires on there. It's just because of all the functionalities we built into the unit. But it's very, very easy, and it's all color-coded and explained. Of course, you have your 12 volt or your 6 volt supply, which is your red and black. And then you've got a gray, that one, and your purple, that one. Those two, well, come here, purple, they interface to the between the old sender unit and your gauge. So how the gauges work? You have a 5 volt supplying the positive side of the gauge. Then it used to go straight to the middle leg of your sender unit, and the resistance changes and you get your gauge to move. Those two wires, or that single wire gets cut, and that gets fed into the fixometer and out of the fixometer to the gauge. So this thing just gets wired in between the gauge and the sender. Then the one wire is your 5 volt supply that we can supply, like I say, 5 volt or 10 volt for Jaguars. And of course the last wire is then the wire to trigger the alarm for reserve fuel, to switch on the fan via a relay, a bigger relay for the cooling function, and of course on the pressure, oil pressure, to bring up a light if the oil pressure is too low. That's all programmable on this little unit. To program the unit, we're going to switch it on. There's different ways of calibrating. I'm going to just talk about the fuel at the moment. If you have a, say, 40, I'm going to just take an easy calculation, 40 liter tank. When your tank is empty, you will calibrate your first point on the fixometer as empty. Then you put in physically 10 liters of fuel, which should bring you to a quarter. You program that level in the unit to a quarter. You put in another 10 liters, that's now 20 liters, which is then half a tank. You program that into the thing and say, okay, that's where the float level now is, and you should be on half. Same with another 10 liters in, so that gives you 30 liters. Program that in, and of course the next 10 liters, which brings you to your full 40 liter capacity for full. And you program the meter to have the corresponding position on the gauge arm. The programming itself is very, very easy. Let's do a quick rundown. I'm going to bring the float level to empty position. The little red light or the orange light on the unit here, and the red light that I've wired up is the reserve, because my arm is now in the full empty position. Right, the meter, the gauge is coming down. And please take care to do a proper calibration. The slower you are and the more accurate you do this step, the more accurate your gauge and your sender will work together. So my fuel sender is in the down position, so it's empty. I'm going to bring it into program mode. Press the program button, press the up button twice, and that is position 1. A quick flash says I'm ready. Give it another program. A slow flash say okay. Now bring your gauge slowly to where you want that empty position to indicate. I can then go with the left button to bring the needle more to the left. You see the white is showing there. Okay, so for instance, I'm happy that that's the position. I can then press the program button. It runs, and it's done that first calibration point. I go to point number 2 of my calibration, which is then maybe say quarter. Let's see, more or less there. I press the program button, slow flash, and the needle will go up to the quarter position on the gauge. And take your time on this calibration. The calibration at the moment I've selected at 5 points. So 0.1 is empty, 0.2 is quarter, 0.3 is half, 0.4 is 3/4, and 0.5 is full. You can do up to 9 points if you want it really, really accurate, but 5 points is adequate. Okay, so it all depends on where this gauge or the sender is now. But I can bring it up with the up button, and you'll see it will just go to that little mark there. Okay, program that. I can then go to point number 3, program, and I go to my halfway mark of my sender. The needle is creeping up. It's matching this resistance with the setup in your OEM meter. And like I say, it doesn't matter whether it's a low to a high or a high to a low resistance, as long as it's a continuous resistance that you can read. And this thing will program it and give you an accurate display. So I'm going to give it one more up, just to bring it a little bit more to the halfway mark. And I can say program that in. Right, 0.4 will be my 3/4 way. I'll put another 10 liters in. Now I've got 30 liters in my 40-liter tank. Quick flashes, go to program for a slow flash. And the meter is creeping up towards my 3/4 way. Can give it a up button or to move the needle a little bit to the right, and that's more or less where it is. Program, and the last 0.5 program, that is full. Okay, it looks like it's going to overshoot a little bit. I want that red part just to cover that one, so I'll go minus or down button once. Another one down. Okay, sort of settle there, program it. And now I'll keep the program button in. It'll get C, drop it, and your calibration points are done. Now your aftermarket sender, whether it's a high-low or low-high resistance, will match your OEM gauge on your classic car. As easy as that. Thank you very much.